Evening. It's bedtime. I'm going to hit the sack very soon, but I've got to feed my starter and my sourdough starter for the morning. I'm going to make myself some bread, but I'm going to do something else as well. I'm going to make a fruit loaf, wholemeal sourdough. I'm going to use some mixed fruit. Never done that before, so I'm really keen to see how it goes. Looking forward to it. So I'll just feed my lovely little starter and I will see you in the morning. So good night, everyone. Very good morning to you all. I've got myself ready for making some bread this morning, and it's early, it's about 7:30. I've got some bowls ready. I'm going to measure everything up and then I'll come back to you in just a moment. I've made my plain wholemeal sourdough. That's for my bread during the week. So that's already done, and I'll pop that aside. What I want to show you this morning is my attempt at making a wholemeal sourdough fruit loaf. So I've not done this before. I hope it works out. In theory it should, but as usual, I'll give it a crack. Why not? So I'll just show you the process of how I go about doing this. So I've got in my basin here 500 grams of wholemeal bread making flour, and I have 10 grams of sea salt. So I've mixed that up. So I'll just pop that aside. Now I've got about 100 grams of mixed fruit. Now I soaked this overnight. I don't know whether that's what I should have done, but my instincts told me that's what I should do. So I'll pop that in there. Beautiful. I've also got about a half teaspoon of mixed spice. I thought, well, why not? And I've got some roughly chopped walnuts as well, because I love walnuts. And I had nuts in a fruit loaf once and it was really lovely. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a mix through. Now with my little scales here, I'll just turn it on. And put that down, and then I tear it, make sure it's back to zero. Now, oh, my starter. Now I put in 100 grams of my starter, and look at the bubbles. Oh, wow. Oh, it's beautiful. Ready, smells amazing. And it's all bubbly. That means it's lovely and active, ready to go to work. Just a wee bit more. And then I just add 350 mils of tepid water, just lukewarm water. And pop that over here. I tear that again. It's like baby's bath water. So I just measured that through. 350 mils. All close. There we go. Put my scales aside. And I'll just give it a good mix. Make it all look like a milky, opaque mixture. Beautiful. And it's so cold this morning. It's blowing an absolute gale out there, and it is sunny, but it's cold. I think if we didn't have this wind, there would have definitely been frost, because it's bitter out there. And we've had it so mild, but now it's starting to cool down. we've got a bit of a, according to the weather people, we're getting a bit of a cold blast coming through. Okay, right, that's beautiful. So that you can see that's just all milky looking, gorgeous. Okay, so making a little well, just going to keep mixing it as I pour the whole lot in. Just making sure I get all of the starter. Right, so pop that aside there. Now I'm going to give it a careful mix, try not to make a mess, and trying to incorporate all the flour, because what we want is what's called a shaggy dough. Now I came to sourdough not during COVID like a lot of other people. I was working, but I've come to this more recently and I love it. I love the taste of sourdough. And I love the wholemeal sourdough, but I love it. I love the process. And I know what's in my bread. It brings me a really nice, quiet satisfaction. So this is looking good. Don't know how it's going to go. That's all the fun of it, isn't it? So I'm going to just cover this over with a really light, clean tea towel. Put it next to my other bread. There we go, on a wooden board. And I'm going to come back in an hour, so I'm going to go off and have some breakfast. Soak some porridge overnight, so I will see you back in about an hour and we'll do our first stretch and fold. If you're not familiar, stay tuned. Okay, so it's been well over an hour. I got sidetracked and had breakfast, and I started a fire because it's so cold. So I'm ready to do my first fold and stretch. So it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be dead on an hour. It's very forgiving. So it's been more like an hour and a half. So with wet hands, I just take the dough and I start turning it as I go and just folding it. And keep turning it. And you'll feel the dough changing as you're doing this. Now, keep going. I do it probably about 8 times. 8 to 10 times. It really does depend. And it already feels a lot smoother than that lovely shaggy dough that we started off with. Now, we let that sit now for another half hour, 40 minutes. We're going to do this 3 more times, including this 4 times. So back over onto the wooden board, and I've got my fruit loaf, which I'll wet my hands again. Really keen to see how this comes about. I've used the same recipe I used for my loaf. Oh, it feels softer and damper, and I think that's probably the addition of the soaked fruit. So, oh yeah, it is a good deal damper. So the exact same recipe, but with this fruit added in, I think it's made it a little bit, well, it has, it's made it softer. It smells lovely though. Now, when I do the fourth stretch and fold, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what we do there. Okay, so I'm back now. This has been about 4 hours since I did my last stretch and fold. Now, I'm going to show you what I do now, which is, okay, with wet hands. This time we're going to put the dough out onto a clean bench and we're going to stretch it. And we're going to get it out and stretch it as much as we can. And I've got one of these lovely little gadgets too. And we stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. And I'll do that with the fruit loaf as well. We leave this for 30 minutes after this has been done. Do it again, and then we pop it into our loaf tins, and I'll show you that in a moment, but I'll show you what we do. Fold it up, fold it, fold it, fold it. Here we go. And we keep it taut and drag it across, and that increases the surface tension. I put an upturned basin on top and leave that for about half hour. Do exactly the same thing again. And then once I've done that, I'll show you how I put that into the tins and what happens. Okay, so this is about 40 minutes later. So I'm going to do the final stretch and fold on, this is the fruit bread. I'm just gonna stretch it out, move it around a bit, give it a lovely stretch. Because this is the final step for today, we're going to stretch it out, roll it up again, roll it and make the surface tension nice and tight, and then pop it in the tin. And once it's in the tin, it's going to prove overnight. I'm going to bake it first thing tomorrow morning. So there is a bit of a process to it. Now I can do it tonight later on, but I prefer to do it first thing in the morning. That's got a little tear, so we'll just push that back. But here we go. So that one, here we go. And I can't wait to have a taste of this once it's baked. And I might even treat myself to some real butter, seeing I'm on my no fun spread now. But if it's only every now and then, it won't hurt. If it's a treat, because that's what a treat is. So, little bits of, here we go, a bit of citrus peel. Oh, and it smells so nice, the mixed spice. So perfect. Okay, so pick this up, pop it in the tin. I like to give it a little sprinkle with some wholemeal flour. I put the I very loosely line the, let me start again. Put a tea towel over it with a little crease in it to allow it to rise. I want it to prove in the tin overnight. And we'll see you in the morning, tomorrow morning, bright and early. And I'll pop that in the oven. Can't wait to show you what it turns out like. A very good morning. It's now the next morning. My loaves have been proving overnight. So they're ready to go in the ovens. And look at them, they look magnificent. Especially the fruit loaf. Look. Oh my goodness. So I've got my oven set to 230 degrees fan force. I've got a little tin with water in the bottom that provides humidity. Go side by side, and I'll put the timer on for 45 minutes, and I'll come back then and I'll show you how they've turned out. It looks wonderful. Okay, so that's what we want to hear. Beautiful. Beautiful, look at that. That's the bread. It's the fruit loaf. Beautiful. Oh, it looks perfect. And the smell in here. Oh, goodness. So I'll come back when they're both cool. Okay, so I'm going to cut the fruit loaf and we're going to have a little taste. So cuts well, beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, let's have a little taste. And I'll have some real butter. Have a little try. Oh, that's very tasty. That's beautiful. Got a bit of walnut. Got some fruit. The only thing I'm going to change next time, and I thought about this before, is adding a little bit of honey to the mix. I don't know. When you have a bite and you bite into a bit of sultana, it's beautiful. Delicious. But next time I make a loaf with the fruit in it, I will add some honey just for comparison. But oh, that's lovely. Imagine that toasted. Oh, very, very good. So now I'll cut into my other loaf. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Beautiful. Lovely crumb. Perfect. So that's how I make my sourdough. And thank you for being with me again today and helping me with my experiment with fruit loaf. I'm very pleased with that. That's easy. But, you know, have a crack. You don't need special equipment. You don't need these fancy baskets, etc. that they say that you need. You don't. And don't be afraid of it. I was afraid of sourdough for ages because it just sounded so terribly complicated. And it's not really. So thank you very much for being with me. And I will see you next time. Okay, so bye for now.